The final 3 races to decide it all. Welcome to the decisions time in the L2S community. I'm Zeb Bauer, glad you're with us tonight for race 20 here in Mexico. So we have the Tier 2 race already in the books. Was a very interesting one. We will have a bit of time to talk about that in the next 1.5 hours. I would like to assume we are here in Mexico. This is the track, the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City. It is ruled to be an easy track, at least that's what Codemaster says. It features 17 turns, is 4.3 kilometers of length, and the lap record belongs to Valtteri Bottas, a 1:18.7. As far as I know, our L2S race drivers, I would like to guess that we will beat that by at least 2 or 3 seconds. We will find out about that. We race in a 50% race distance. That means 36 laps. We will have a 18 minutes qualifying before that. We have strict corner cutting rules. This will be a topic, corner cutting as well as exceeding track limits. In Tier 2 we have seen one driver who was even disqualified in the very last lap because of too many ignored warnings about cutting corners and exceeding track limits. So this will definitely be a topic. We see dynamic weather. This might be a topic too. I have seen a bunch of wet conditions, a bunch of wet sessions here in Mexico. We see full flags, we see safety car, of course, manual race starts, short look at the assists that we use. We have maximally medium traction control, manual gearbox. The pit assist is on, so you do not have to worry about the pit lane when coming into, and pit release assist is off, so you have to manually start after the tire change. So the lobby is almost filled. We have 19 guys being part of this session. Let's have a look who has checked in. We see Ian is here, that's a good thing. Ian, the co-commentator of the Tier 2 race, but he was unable to join the Tier 2 race. He didn't feel too good, but obviously he is good enough now to focus on his race. That's a good thing. Infamous, the other commentator, good job just a few moments ago in Tier 2. Official is here, our overall leader. That's a thing we will have to have a close eye on. And who else is here? Mark Ainley and the Golden Pickle. Hello. Chris Tam, who just got promoted from Tier 2 into Tier 1. His, I think, second or third race in Tier 1 now. And who am I still missing? Slayer, another important name for our league, as he and Official will probably be the duel for the championship in the end. So it's good to have both you guys with us and racing. Our host will be Dean Cunha once again tonight. And yeah, one specialty about the Mexican Grand Prix, about the track, is that we Actually, it's two very specific things. As we have a look at the track again, we still have a moment or two to talk about some more details. We see a monstrously long straight, the second longest straight in the whole race calendar, and the longest rundown from the start to the first turn. So the start is approximately where this little white arrow is situated in, and from there to turn 1 it's over 1.2 kilometers. That's the longest phase, the longest acceleration phase in the whole year. So that means a good start is incredibly important, maybe even more important than the qualifying itself. We will see about that. And the second thing, the last sector, the last few turns, is actually running through a baseball stadium, the Foro Sol Stadium, the home of the Diablos Rojos de Mexico, the Red Devils of Mexico City. And this is really a great place to be, a very unique way to go through in a Formula One car. And it will be crowded. 45,000 virtual audience, if not real, then at least virtual. And yeah, we will have an eye on that as soon as we turn to the track. I will show you around a bit. Just by Jeopardy, right today, I was driving the Mexican Grand Prix in my offline career, so I am most familiar to this track today, right now. Until we get started, we are already 2 minutes over the time, but maybe we are waiting for someone to join. And until then, until we finally head to the track, I will step aside for a moment and will be with you in just a bit. So after a plus 7 minutes now, the session timer has finally started to tick down. I have reread the internal communication and it seems like it was our driver Chappie who needed the delay, and here we see the first picture of the baseball stadium. That's what I meant, Forosol. And yes, so this is it. A little bit late, but that doesn't matter. A few minutes back and forth, not a big issue. Here we are in Mexico City. So in the live chat there is a little prediction game going on, a bit of betting around who's gonna win and how many safety car faces we will have. Let's see what's going on. Hamza is betting on a few safety cars and he predicts a victory for Official. Well, Official would like that, obviously. And Slayer will try his best to avoid that. Maybe we will see someone else who can join the front rows in quali and maybe even at the very end of the race. The first drivers are heading out on the track. First one was Mark Ainley, so let's stay with him for a moment. Here we go. In his black and red livery. In case you are watching us and are not familiar with L2S, please do not search for your favorite team. If you are I don't know, Haas, Alfa Romeo, Mercedes fan or whatever, please do not search for your team, because we race in unique liveries. Always brings in some interesting new color combinations and keeps us on our toes about creativity. Oh, and there's the first crash from Mark Ainley, who pushed too hard on the in lap, or rather the out lap. Now it's an in lap. But his tires are intact. He does not have to check out of the quali already now. Let's jump just to the next one on outlap. Maybe this is Chris Tam. Let's stay with him for a moment. Chris Tam, I mentioned it. He just shortly got promoted from Tier 2 up in Tier 1. So all you guys from Tier 2, if you're watching us, your good results will be seen. Let's get in some more information. Chris Tam, who had I think 3 pole positions in a row at around Monza and Singapore time, had a good quali last time too, and this is the extremely long straight I mentioned. There's Chappie, the guy we were waiting for. After the long straight, a few 90-degree turns, a double chicane, so to say. Just yet another medium length DRS zone. And some more 90-degree turns here in Sector 2. Once or twice or thrice around the block, you could say. And then at the end of Sector 2 and beginning of Sector 3, the fast and technical turns where it's very easy to either throw the car away or exceed track limits. And that is what I mentioned earlier, what we will have to watch for the rest of the race. And here we are in Forosol, the audience-packed baseball stadium. Chris Tam really uses every square inch the track offers him, and he has rather good time. 1:14.2, second best time posted. Just Nick Agnola was faster than him. So here we are, Chris Tam and Nick Magnola within a tenth. Then Official within a second, Golden Pickle within a second, almost matching the time from Official. And then we see a lot of times coming in here. Slayer is in front of Official in the moment. Scientist then in 6th. Pastor France, the first one on medium. Sam Moshetit, Ian, and Lando Bot did not post an competitive time with over 10 seconds of gap. Let's jump to someone who's on a hot lap. Maybe that's Bellox. Oh no, he has an invalid lap time. You can see that on the red color on the minimap on the right hand side. Oh, Lando, now he has posted a competitive lap time, and that gave him P3, so over our two championship contenders. Yes, speaking about championship contenders, here we come to the big story here. The overall standings, just 3 races left to decide all the ongoing battles. Sadly, I can't depict it here for you in the PlayStation menu, but I will run it down for you, and maybe a good idea to have a look at our Twitter page. I have posted the link just underneath the video, twitter.com/L2S Racing. And Official is our leader in our overall standings. He is 20 points ahead of Slayer. He improved, he seized his gap a little bit with a great result last week in Austin. Slayer second with minus 20 points on Official, and then in third the Scientist, who is in P8 right now. Yeah, Scientist is 50 points behind Official, and with 3 races left, it's a, yeah, you can say do or die event now for Scientist. If he wants to keep his championship run alive, he needs to win all last 3 races and be in front of his rivals Official and Slayer. If he finishes behind those 2 guys, it is over for him. In 4th, we see Infamous with 138 points. He is more or less like in a no man's land. He's too far away to attack P3, and behind him Nick Agnola and the Angry Orange are a bit away, so he has a little bit of a cushion. P5 is a big battle from Nick Agnola against Angry Orange. They are within 5 points, but, one big but, Angry Orange is inactive tonight, so the big chance for Nick Agnola to get some cushion to more or less secure his P5, and we have seen him winning a race already in Singapore, so maybe if he has a good result, he might be able to attack Infamous in his 4th place maybe. Then we see in P7 Dean Cunha, again a driver in no man's land, and a battle for P8. That's Ian versus Aces Vikings. Those 2 guys are level, same amount of points with 69. And while I have been running down for you all this stuff, we have seen Nick Agnola pushing for the pole position. So just as I mentioned, Nick Agnola is a race winner. He can push ahead. He is definitely able to attack Infamous if Infamous gives him the chance to do so. Yes, I mentioned the fight for P8, Ian and Aces Vikings level on 69 points, and then a battle for P10. That's Landobot and the Golden Pickle, both level on 43 points. And where do we have those two guys? Landobot is in 4th and the Golden Pickle in 8th right now. So these are the names you have to watch for this race, for this event. Official versus Slayer and maybe versus Scientist. Then Ian versus Aces Vikings and Landobot versus Golden Pickle and maybe Nick Agnola versus Infamous. So this is the situation in our overall standings as we head into the race event. As mentioned, we have seen a Tier 2 race already. Qualifying pole position was SimV, followed by Desert Rat and Would You Rather, and Would You Rather afterwards pushed ahead for the lead and won the race ahead of Ryan Van Doom and Mitch GK. So we have seen a lot of good results from Would You Rather lately too, so maybe he will be the follower of Chris Tam. Maybe we will see him in Tier 1 sooner or later. We will see. Royal Harvey at the moment in P2, so we have our top 3 guys within 1/10 of a second. Really close, those guys, as we are right now with Ian, who has thrown it away. Ian is out. He lost his car in the intermediate sector. I did so too a few times today in my offline league. And he is maximally in P7. Maximally in 7th. What does Slayer do? A little bit of improvement in Sector 2. And he improved himself by 4/10, giving him P4. 3.5 tenths approximately behind pole setter Nick Agnola. Yeah, well, it's not bad. But still P4, I think not where a championship contender wants to be. His main rival Official still in the pits. He has fresh mediums mounted. Oh, he's on an outlap now. It's an interesting timing because with 6 minutes left, it's not safe to say that he will have 2 more shots. I expect him to just try a hot lap on the mediums and he will see during the lap if his time can be an improvement, and if not, I expect him to return to the garage and get a fresh set of softs again. So let's stay with him for the moment and let's see if he can make his mediums work. But in the final turn of the outlap, he invalidated the next lap time. So this is all for nothing what he's doing here. Yeah, just a short trip around the track, saying hello to the fans. It's actually not a lot more for Ian, for Official right now, so he will come back to the pits and get a fresh set of softs now. We've seen a lot of guys doing a 2-stop race in Tier 2. So for the Tier 1 drivers, it's always important to watch the Tier 2 to see what difficulties occur in the race, how they can learn of it, what the most successful or promising strategy is. And yeah, while we watch official heading back to the pits, we see Landobot on a hot lap, so let's jump to him for a moment. He did not improve himself in the first sector. Let's see what Sector 2 brings for him. Or if he might abort it, jump into the pits for a new set of softs. Oh, he's improving himself. 2/10 ahead. And in the end, the lap time will be a 1:14.5. Little bit of an improvement, but I think quali is over for Landobot. He will maximally be in P5. He does not have a chance for another shot. So we are into the last 2 minutes of qualifying. Things will get hectic now. Nick Agnola and Royal Harvey still in the pits. Chris Tam is ruled on an outlap here. Landobot is finished maximally in P5 for the moment. Maybe let's have a look what our host Dean Cunha is doing in his green-black livery. Looks like a toxic snake. He's coming to the end of Sector 2 right now. Oh, unstable car in the last turn here, and he's improving himself by 1.5 tenths. Maybe that will not be enough for a big lunge forward, but maybe into P6 against Infamous. The last turn here, easy to throw some time away. Yes, just beat Infamous. Dean Cunha is finished and maximally in P6. Chris Tam now on an outlap. There he is. Beginning of Sector 2. He seems to have a bit of traffic here. Already passed one behind in a classic Sauber Petronas livery. He's here in the fast, difficult turns of the intermediate sector. Chappie now is out. Cause the yellow maybe. And time for Chris Tam. He improves himself by 3.2 tenths. And this would give him the lead. This would give him the pole position and even a bit of cushion to Harvey and Nick. Where will the time stop for him? New pole setter Chris Tam, 1:13.8, 3 tenths in front of Nick and Harvey. Here's the Royal Harvey, Sir Harvey in his green livery. What does Sector 1 bring for him while Scientist is out? Oh, Harvey is improving himself likewise. Now let's have a look at Nick. Nick Agnola. We will jump between Nick and Royal Harvey. While Golden Pickle is a new pole setter. He has matched the time of Chris Tam. Equal times. And Nick is improving, but not as much as Royal Harvey is too. Royal Harvey at the end of sector 2 here. He improves himself by almost half a second. That would make him the pole setter. A lot of new drivers are really going at it here. Nick Agnola at the end of sector 2. He has lost time. Nick is out of the pole race and Royal Harvey is the new pole setter. 113.6. Nick Agnola, we have seen no improvements for him. And Mark Ainley is finished. Cunha is finished. Landerbot is finished. Official is finished in P11. Wow, that's a bummer for him. But, one big but, in P11, Official has the free choice of tires for the start. And that could be a big advantage for him. Let's see how he will opt, what he will do there. And yeah, for the moment, pole belongs to Royal Harvey. Congratulations to you, Sir Harvey. So here is the final result of our qualifying, the final starting grid. Royal Harvey in front of Golden Pickle, 1,000 behind him, Chris Thum. Then Nick Agnola in 4th, Mark Ainley 5, Dean Cunha 6, Slayer 7, Landerbot 8. Number 9 goes to Infamous, 10th, 8th Aces Vikings, 11 Official, 12 Castor France, 13 Ian, 14 Sam I Ham, 15 Slayer, 16 is Bellox, 17th Chappie, 18 John Bunter, and 19th and last Moshatit. So here we are in the pit lane. It seems like a fair weather race, at least for the start. Every driver has a few seconds of time to change a little bit of setup, and I will be with you in just a moment. So it will be a bit hectic now as we do not have a installation lap. The Mexican Grand Prix is on. Here we go in Mexico. The longest rundown to the first turn, and Royal Harvey did not catch the best start. He's already overtaken by Golden Pickle. Chris Thum is close too. What's gonna happen in the first turn? A sandwich! Those three guys have touched. And Royal Harvey under more pressure here. In the background, everything was going on rather smoothly, I would like to say, at least more than in the... It's Thum who was sandwiched there in between Royal Harvey and maybe Nick Agnola or Golden Pickle. Oh, and Dean Cunha had and now had to be given a penalty. Penalty belongs to us. Here's the position change. Royal Harvey has lost one. Chris Thum, the big loser from the start, -14, and Dean Cunha is out. We have our first DNF, that's Dean Cunha, that's very sad for him. Sadly, I do not know what happened, there is no replay and live stream, and the first safety car as Sam Iham is out too. I think, no, cannot jump to him anymore, don't see him anymore, something happened in the last turn. And this is the first safety car. We have seen, I think Hamza it was, who guessed for 2 safety car phases. Here is the first one already. So, hectic start. Mark Ainley already in the pits. He lost a lot of positions already. He had a rather good qualifying. Is a -12 already after the start. Mark Ainley and Chris Tum, the big losers from the start, at least among them who are still racing. And let's have a look at the tires that are used. We see, haha, as I knew it, official, who had to start from P11, opted for mediums, so that will change the race strategy that he will run. He will probably try to go through on a one-stop, going from mediums to hards, somewhere middle of the race. We see Scientist on hards. On mediums we see Moshetit on hards. And the first pit stops. Who's it? Who's in the pits here? Who's in the pits? No. Just the game says they are in the pits, but they aren't. Here they are. Royal Harvey, Infamous, Ian, Nick Agnola, Landobot, Mark Ainley have pitted. The interesting thing is that Nick Agnola and Landobot have pitted for hards, so they will try to go a long time on these hards. Maybe they will even try to go through, but I hardly can believe that that is possible. At least if the prediction of Hamza is right, then we will have some more safety cars, and then you could have a chance to very easily switch to a faster tire in the end. So let's sort things out a bit. The big winner of the start probably was Slayer, who is up into second right now. I mentioned it, he is 20 points behind Official. Needs to make up points to keep his championship chances alive. Official already in P4, so he jumped ahead big time too. But Slayer is in front of him. He needs to finish in front of Official, and there he is, at least at the moment. Then the Golden Pickle, the only one from the front rows who's still there, as he didn't stop early. Aces Vikings in 5, made up a lot of positions too. Chappie in 6, Scientist 7, Bellox then 8, Moshetit, the one who started on hards, is now 9. And then Chris Tam already in 10th. Chris Tam was the one who started very far in the front, I think first row. Sandwich and dropped back, but he seems like his car isn't damaged. Let's have a look at him. He's the one in the middle in the dark blue here. His front wing is intact. So Anta is the last one who yet behind is on fresh tires. See how big the advantage or disadvantage will be for approximately half the field that did not stop. Here we message that safety car is in this lap, so here in the last sector in the Forosol Stadium. Golden Pickle is dictating the pace, and to some moment he will pull away and try to shake off Slayer. He is very slow here in Forosol, trying to get his tires on the right temperature. And he has spun while picking up the pace. What's going on? He has lost positions. Golden Pickle has lost 2 positions while he wanted to pick up the pace. And Slayer is our new leader. Strange situation there. And Castro France, is he attacking? No, not yet. Not yet? Oh, interesting. Castro France received a 5 seconds penalty for overtaking Golden Pickle early, but Slayer did not get the penalty. Interesting fact. Very, very interesting. We get the news from our host from Dean Cunha that his brake and throttle was stuck, so he couldn't control his car anymore. That's interesting, but and sad likewise. So yeah, it's cool that you're with us, but sad that you are not racing anymore, of course. While we watch the top group here, Slayer is unable to pull away. Castro France, yet another penalty, so he's the first one to pile it up. Slayer ahead, no DRS yet, that will take one more lap. Slayer defending himself already, but wasn't necessary yet. Golden Pickle 7/10 and behind Castro France. And there obviously has been some midfield battles, because we see Official in last position here. He was somewhere in the midfields after his early tire stop, and he's fighting his way through the field now. He is a fast driver. We know that Official is a good one. He will be able to get things done. Oh no, Official did not stop his tires. Official probably has just had a problem. He just spun, like almost Moshadit in front of him. You can really see how unstable Moshadit's car is in these sections. So the 2 main championship contenders, they couldn't be further away. Slayer leading and Official in the bottom of the field. But still 30 laps to go. We see Nick Agnola in the pits. That's sad too. While we see Official attacking Moshatit. No DRS yet. Will be activated in this lap, but not yet now. They match each other's high speed pace here. Very close racing, but safe racing, quality racing, I would like to call it. And now Official has out-accelerated Moshatit. And yellow ahead. What's going on there? A bit of a fighting group. Threesome fighting group. Mark Ainley, Ian and John Bunter ahead. Yeah, and we see a lot of drivers who had a good quali ruining this good result in the quali very early in the race. Like Nick Agnola, who is in last position now. He probably needed a new nose. Like, who's next? Like Royal Harvey, he's running in 8th now. And Golden Pickle in 3 after he almost threw away his car from the safety car restart. And there's some action going on in the DRS zone. 2 blue cars battling it out. Scientist and Chris Tam. Oh, and Royal Harvey. Royal Harvey is there too. And very close between those guys. Wheel-to-wheel action brought and filmed for us from the TV pod of scientists. Now a DRS zone. Both right ahead are equipped with DRS. Wheel-to-wheel in sector 2. Ooh, Chris Tam, a little bit of a braking mistake there. Very close. Still great racing action between those three here. And the fast turns pull all those three guys a little bit away of each other as everyone is struggling in the dirty air of the driver ahead. Let's jump ahead to Castle France. Threesome battle for the lead. These are our three podium setters at the moment. Slayer in the lead, the only one who is not allowed to activate DRS, being followed by Castle France and Golden Pickle. Castle France searching the slipstream, attacks him on the outside and cutting inside next to you. Castle France is faster. Slayer battle lane to defend himself. And oh, still wheel-to-wheel action. Now Castle France should have him. Yes, he does. Slayer is there that he does score. A P2 official doesn't score is better than throwing his race early, and Castle France had to go wide and lost the lead again, lost even P2 to Golden Pickle. He ran wide, ran even around the arrows there. So we've seen the lead change 3 times in just 1 lap, and the next one might just be just the same. It seems like Golden Pickle is closer to attack the lead now. In this monstrously long DRS zone, Slayer defending himself early here already. Pickle's pushing ahead. He's still there. No, he isn't. He isn't. Pickle has overtaken Slayer. And now Slayer is at the mercy of Castle France because they don't have DRS. Red racing here in these zones, in these turns. We can more or less easily stay with those 3 as there is almost none else in the DRS window. What happened here? Castle France running wide. And Slayer is gone. Slayer is gone. Does he have damage or did he just run wide? No, Slayer needs a new nose. Oh, Slayer needs a new nose. Sadly, I couldn't depict it even though I wanted to stay with our top 3 duel. And he's in the pits, likewise to a lot of guys now. Golden Pickle, maybe he had damage too. Let's have a look. Now he's already gone. Running on fresh softs, then Chappie in the pits. Castle France. Viking Slayer on fresh softs again, so he will stop twice in this race. Chris Tam in 15th. He has his eyes last now, so he finally totally destroyed his good quali result. A lot of action going on, and all that brought Royal Harvey back in the lead. The pole setter who had a lot of troubles on the start, here he is back in the lead. And he might have a chance to keep it, because those guys who were in the lead before, the first of them is Golden Pickle running in P9. He has a gap 15.5 seconds. So, and he will close it on his fresh soft, so that's not a pit stop delta. So as soon as Royal Harvey pits, what's going to take a while, of course, probably because of his mediums, the Golden Pickle will then be in the lead again, probably. What's going on? Mark Ainley is close to Ian here at the end of the second DRS zone. And then behind him, Official, after the mistake by Slayer. Now Official is in the better position again in this race. Things have flipped. All of a sudden Official would score points and Slayer is on the 0 side of points being granted. Let's stay with Mark Ainley here for a moment, as he seems like he's the only one who could be in an attacking maneuver soon. Yeah, not yet, but there is another DRS zone upcoming. That's right after this turn. But he's too far away. Ian pulls away very good on the exit of the last turn. He probably pulls into rich engine mode and pushes the overtake button as much as he can to accelerate the way, to pull away from Mark Ainley. And now Ian is getting closer to the Scientist. He is really flying up to him. Didn't dare to attack him before the stadium. But the next attack is imminent. He's very close here already at the beginning of the long straight. DRS is opened. Yes, it is. Scientist will try to defend himself, or does he not? He does not. Late attack from Ian. Wheel to wheel into the turn, and that worked. And that gives Ainley maybe the chance to attack likewise. Scientist no DRS. Search in the slipstream of Ian. Don't ruin your race, Mark Ainley. Scientist is fighting for his third position. He does not give up just easily here. What's gonna happen in Sector 2 that has caused so much trouble already in the first third of this race? And here's the next DRS zone. Both are equipped with it. Wheel to wheel into the stadium. Bit of a lock tire from Mark Ainley, but he got around the corner and was granted P4. Scientist has lost 2 positions in just 1 lap and might lose just the next one, as Official is already close. So we see 3 guys following each other's DRS window. Indirectly, you could say everyone is in the DRS window of the podium, as in front of this group is a 3rd ranked Ian. DRS open up for everyone, so actually not an advantage for Official against Scientist, but still he seems to be a little bit faster. Wheel to wheel into the next turn. Watch out for each other. Hot action here, hot action. Next time we run into the fast turns here. Scientist seems as he has lost the contact to Mark Ainley ahead, so he will not be equipped with the RS anymore right here. That might give Official the chance for an attack. Attack ahead from Mark Ainley against Ian. We have a look behind what's happening there. Ah, pit stop. Pit stop from Scientist. He seems to be troubled on his tire. He will change them now. DRS action going on here, and Mark Ainley pushed for the podium. And Official somehow just cannot get ahead. He is behind the Golden Pickle now. So whatever Official does, it seems like he just can't get somehow forward. And Golden Pickle is pulling away. He is on the faster soft tire and is closing up heavily here to Ian. Let's see what's going to happen here. Ian does have the IS2. Ian sliding a bit here in these slow turns. Oh yeah, Pickle is close. He will attack Ian on long straight. Ian without DRS, that will make him an easy prey for the Golden Pickle. Ian doesn't even defend himself. He knows that he lost this battle even before it has even started. That makes Golden Pickle fourth now. Ian on his already old mediums are able to follow the Pickle here, at least at the moment. Behind we see John Bunter in his pink car being close to Castor France. But not able to attack him, as Castor France is DRS equipped likewise, as he is close to Ace Kings and Slayer into the points. At least already back into the top 10. Behind him then Nick Agnola, who has totally thrown away his qualifying results. Official rather easily going past John Bunter, and Official has pitted for the second time. Official is through on his pit stop strategy and will go to the end of the race on a set of hearts. And attack here on the front rows. Problems for Mark Ainley after Golden Pickle has jumped on the podium. He is really rushing through the field on his softs, on his faster tire. And the next one to attack is Infamous. Infamous and Royal Harvey, they are in the front positions because they are running on rather old mediums. So again, this should be easy prey for Golden Pickle. So next DRS zone upcoming. Pickle is already very close to Infamous, already at the start of the DRS zone. He zooms ahead, and this works easy for him as expected. Easy prey to go around Infamous. Infamous, who's still in a good race, I would like to say. So in his Michael Schumacher Legacy helmet, still in a good position after a maybe okay qualifying. And Royal Harvey, I don't know if you are listening to me. You posted into the live chat, so maybe you have the stream on. If I may say so, you should consider to pit soon to make your final pit stop. Now, as you still have 6.5 seconds of gap against Golden Pickle. Pickle behind you is faster. He is rushing through the field. And just when I said it, Royal Harvey is in for probably his final pit stop. Yes, he will finish the race on a fresh set of mediums. Infamous does so too, just behind him. Infamous will be dropped back a few positions. Let's see where he will get back onto the track in P11. P11 just ahead of Mark Ailey, so those two guys are close to each other again. We see only Slayer and Harvey, by the way, who are still without a penalty. Oh, and John Banter, not to forget him. Yeah, we are in the second half of the race. We will close. We are close to enter the final third, and we have still 17 drivers with us. So only Sam Iham and Dean Cunha DNF'd, and they did it, I think, both in the first lap. So speaks for the L2S quality. Quality racing here on Thursday evenings. And Ian and Golden Pickle in the pits. Here's the Pickle. Fresh mediums. Ian, fresh mediums. Some more pit stop action going on. Who else? Ian. Slayer. Ian, Chappie, Nick Agnola, Ballox. So it seems like everyone has declared lap 20 and lap 21 to be the #1 pit stop delta for the final stint of mediums. So we see Aces, Vikings and Kato France in the lead again. I think we saw those two guys up ahead already earlier, but they didn't stop yet, so they will have to again. And then virtually Royal Harvey is our leader. Scientist and Landebot will have to stop again, but I suppose they will try to keep running a bit on this softs until they can go on softs again afterwards for the final stint. And Chris Tam in 9th. He will try to go through on his hearts. Oh, what has happened in front? Castle France, Aces, Vikings, Royal Harvey very close. Royal Harvey is impatient. He is cutting into the leading duo. Even though he just needs to wait. He would have just needed to wait until Castle France and the Viking have stopped again, and then he would automatically be the leader again, but he didn't want to wait. Royal Harvey, Sir Harvey, has cutted his way through the top group, and he is back into the lead. Let's see if he can hold this position for the final 14 laps. Where are our two championship contenders? Official is 10th, Slayer 12th, so They are close to each other. Close, and they will be battle for 1 point. At least as things stand right now. This is 1 point they will have to fight against. And this is actually a big win for Official and Aces Vikings next to the track here in Sector 1. He was in the dirt, in the grass. And, ooh, big fighting group behind those guys. Golden Pickle. This is the camera of Lando Bot and Scientist ahead. A mixed group from some drivers who pitted already and some who did not. Lando Bot and Scientist still have to. They run on used soft. Golden Pickle on fresh mediums will go through. See some yellow again in Sector 1. Oh, and Golden Pickle is very close to Scientist, attacking him just before the stadium. No chance for an attack. Golden Pickle is impatient, just as impatient as Royal Harvey was earlier. He just needs to wait until they go into the pits. Oh, or he just needs to wait until the big DRS zone that is right here. Scientist does have DRS too, but still Golden Pickle seemed faster in the slipstream. And now he is next to him, wheel to wheel, and they maybe have touched. Ooh, someone is ghosted there. Someone is ghosted. Maybe Golden Pickle. Does Golden Pickle? Golden Pickle has internet connection issues. Oh, he will be angry about that. I can imagine how in his wheel, and will bite to the steering wheel. He was in a good position and he loses position after position here as he is ghosted. He was actually in probably something like a podium position and he is not anymore. Ian just driving through him. Oh, that is sad. That is sad, but okay. That is the problem of the virtual worlds. We do not have engine failures, we do not have gearbox faults, we do not have, I don't know, oil pressure leaks or whatever. But we have internet connection issues and ghosting. So all of that got Official into P7, while Slayer is still side of for Slayer, but he needs to pick up things here, and he has to do that fast. Now Slayer has run through the Pickle Ghost and is into the points too. There's some action going on. Mark Ainley close to the rear of Scientist, and he is close to Lando Bot ahead. Lando Bot and Scientist still need to pit once. I suppose they cannot go through on this sets of softs. And there is action. Mark Ainley wheel to wheel on the entrance of Solo Full. Ooh, hard defending from Scientist. And he pushes Mark Ainley into a battle against Chris Tam. Let's have a look how this all looks like from the view of Official and Scientist now into the pits. Ooh, hard fighting going on here. Everyone is DRS equipped, everyone's searching the slipstream like on Tour de France. And Ainley stays ahead. Does he get around the corner? He does for the moment. Still, every one of them DRS. It will be the one who does not have it in the next lap. Oh, some late lunge ahead, but he can't come on the turn. And now will attacked from Shell and loses a position. Lost even 2 against Infamous likewise. Wow, hot fighting group here in the late stages of the race, and Chris Tam now lost the position. Ian fighting with Chris Tam. Here you cannot fight in these turns, they just allow that, and Ian maybe is outside of the DRS window. Yes, he is. So the 5-man group has split up into a duel and a threesome ahead. I am following. Oh, Chris Tam into the pits. Yeah, he didn't assume his hearts would make it over the race. And Castle France, Landobot in the pits likewise. So these have been the last stops, I would like to assume. So our top group is now through on their pit strategy. And we see Official in third. And this is the group we have been in before. Official on the podium after so much of up and down, bad quali, then lunge ahead in the early phases of the race, drop back until almost last position, and here he is back in a podium discussion. But one disadvantage for him, he is using the hards, so this tire is probably slower than the tire used from Infamous behind him. And Slayer isn't too far away either. Slayer, here he is going in 6th. And there is maybe an attack from Official in the long DRS zone against Mark Ainley. The two hard runners, and Official in P2. Official in 2nd place. Wow. Great catching up and crawling through the field here in the end. But this duel is not over. Now Mark Ainley is the one equipped with DRS and will probably attack Official a few times until the end, so I could imagine this position will change a few times back and forth. Infamous not too far away either, so maybe Mark Ainley will even drop off the podium in the end. Mark Ainley has closed up to Official. As soon as we head to the long DRS zone, he will probably attack him again. Oh no, now on acceleration, Official pulled ahead quite good. So that could save him for the moment, at least in the first DRS zone. Ainley zooming up close to Official. Second DRS zone will come up here. Nope, no chance for an attack for Mark Ainley, at least at the moment. Yes, one tragic thing, one very evil thing. Official has announced that he will very likely not return for the next season. He said he is doing hard and motivating himself to be with us Thursday in, Thursday out, so he will try to acquire the championship, but the champion will probably not return. So you can imagine how big this loss will be for this league. But that is future. Now let's focus on what's going on in the present. Mark Ainley 3.5 tenths behind Official. He is closer now, he's attacking him. Now he has a chance to pull ahead again. Wheel to wheel, Official defending himself. And has lost a position, and not just one. Because here is Infamous taking advantage. Infamous just sitting behind, watching the two guys ahead, battling it out, and then jumping ahead of both of them. Great race, well done from Infamous. Yeah, and as we are through with our pit stop strategy, well, at the moment, here's the next attack from Margailey. He is fighting for his second position. I wanted to say, as we are through with pit stop strategy, we can have a look at the penalty situation here in the end. So search for your favorite driver and have a look where he will probably result the end. While we see the next attack from Mark Ainley, the next push for P2, and now finally he has got it back. After a bunch of laps where he needed to watch others drive in his position, he is back in second. But this is far from over yet. Official who films us the battle for second. We see some action going on in behind. Let's have a short look about Ian, the one who pushed it through even though he didn't feel too well before the event. Well done, mate, well done. P6 plus minus is a good result if you don't feel well. And ahead is Slayer, and then ahead is Official. So Slayer was able to crawl ahead very well to his main rival. Long DRS zone, but DRS for Ian2. Still Castor France pushes ahead. No, he doesn't, at least not yet. Wheel to wheel. Ooh, maybe he pushed Ian and pulled it through. So Slayer in 5th. Infamous now in 4th. Official took advantage of the DRS zone there. But as I said, far from over. This will swap in, swap out still a lot of times. And now finally we have maybe a second. It's so much going on. I'm doing so hard to finish just one sentence. Now finally we have a moment to have a look at the penalty situation. So Mark Ainley, even though he is running in second, he will hardly keep it, as he is with a plus 12 second penalty piled up. So at the moment, Official then would be ruled into P2, and the question is just, will Mark Ainley still be on the podium or be even ranked back? Further behind we see Castor France overtaking Slayer, but he won't keep the position. Likewise, he is with a plus 21. That's really a lot. He might even drop out of the points in the end. So the big question will be, where will Mark Ainley be situated in the end, and how far behind Official will Slayer finish? The Snailer, as someone already called him. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but yes, he is slower in this race than his main rival, but it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Still 3 laps plus the rest of this to get things settled, and as you can see, the penalties will really puzzle and shuffle the whole field in the very end. So the battle for P2, as far as we can speak of a battle, is maybe settled. Official is too far away to attack Mark Ainley, and there is Castor France, who's really crawling through the field on his sets of fresh softs, and Scientist is out. Scientist has given up, I think. He's in the pit lane. Yes, he gave up in the pit lane. Fair maneuver from Scientist. Sadly that he dropped out that late, but fair maneuver to step out of his car in the pit lane here to not cause a late safety car. And that would be havoc. With these amounts of penalties, a safety havoc. We have seen this in Monza. And a safety car in the end. Nick Magnola is out to F. Yes, we have seen a late safety car in Monza just 5 laps before the end of the race, and similar amounts of penalties, and then everything got wild in the end. There's Golden Pickle in the last position now. He was fighting for a podium until he had his connection issues, and now he is officially in last position, being lapped here by Royal Harvey. Here's official. Close to Mark Ainley again. I mentioned the fight is maybe over, but not. No, it's not. The fight is on again, but official will be granted second position anyway. Due to penalties, he just needs to stay on the track, just not throw it away. And official has just picked up another penalty that gets him closer to the Ainley amount. This will be interesting in the last lap. Official will be in front of Ainley if he doesn't pick up another +3. But Slayer only has a +3. So that means maybe in the end Slayer will be up over official. Slayer is in the discussion of a podium as we enter the final lap of the race. The final 4-point-something kilometers. Official attacking Ainley again and pushed ahead. Casto France close to. Those two are the penalty kings, at least. Yeah, those two are the penalty kings. Only Ian still with a similar amount of penalty seconds. So good race for Casto France and Mark Ainley. Speaking about the racing facts, bad race. Speaking about racing it cleanly, but I mentioned it, it's very easy to pick up penalties, to cut corners, to exceed track limits on this track, especially right on these turns. And Royal Harvey is in his last turn, and he will win the Mexican Grand Prix, sliding over the start-finish line, sliding over the checkered flag. Official is second for the moment. Mark Ainley third for the moment. Slayer in P2! Slayer in second position. He crashed into some interesting thing here going on. Some interesting, very unique way of finishing the race. You only see that in virtual worlds too. Slayer has finished in front of official. I think almost the whole race he was somewhere else, anywhere else. And in the end he is in front of official, making up at least 3 points in the overall standings. Then Mark Ainley is being ranked back to 4th. Casto France even back to P7 after crawling up so many positions in the end. And this is the end of the race. How funny is that? Royal Harvey, he's, I don't know, waving the fingers right next to his pit crew. Funny end of the race. It was a great race, absolutely great race, lot of action, lot of clean racing, quality virtual Formula 1 racing. So there's the winner's dance for Sir Royal Harvey and the winner's champagne. Here's the final result after penalty. The winner, Royal Harvey. In second, what a surprise, Slayer. Third, official. Fourth, Mark Ainley. Fifth goes to Infamous. 6 to Chris Tam. 7, Casto France. 8, Chappie. 9, Ian MC. 10, Landebot. 11, John Banter. 12, Ballox. 13, Aces Vikings. 14, Golden Pickle. 15, Nick Agnola. 16, Scientist. The last one who officially ended the race. The rest of the guys, DNF, Mashatet, Semi-Ham, and Dean Cunha. So, as we see the final pictures of the Photosol Stadium, we head back to the lobby. What a race. It was a great race, clean race, cool race from everyone. Sadly, decided by a bit of penalties. Yep, that sadly happens every once in a while, but nevertheless a great race of our L2S community. Slayer has managed to crawl up to official by at least 3 points, so the minimum target he achieved. Still, Slayer has 17 points to work with for the last 2 races of the season. Yeah, the last 2 races are on. L2S will be back next Thursday. Tier 2 starts at around 7 p.m. of UK time and around about 9 p.m. of UK time. Then Tier 1, the stream always starts around 10 minutes earlier. We will then race in Interlagos in Brazil. Thanks for being with us. Have a good evening, stay safe in these times, and keep racing.